Today, let's explore one of the most advanced and large-scale pig farming operations in the world, located right here in Iowa, USA, the agricultural heartland of the globe. This massive farm spans thousands of hectares and leaves visitors in awe not only because of its size but also due to its cutting-edge technology, efficient management systems, and fully integrated production chain from breeding, feeding, and raising, to slaughtering and distribution. So, what does a typical day on this farm look like? And is this model truly the future of global pork production? Let's find out together. Iowa currently leads the U.S. in pork production, with over 15 million pigs marketed annually, accounting for nearly one-third of the nation's total output. Amid thousands of active farms in the state, one fully integrated complex owned by a major American livestock corporation stands out. This single operation alone supplies nearly 1 million market-ready pigs each year, a figure that commands respect across the industry. Upon entering the farm, you're met with a scene that's far from what most people imagine. Inside the closed pig housing units, over 20,000 pigs are raised under a smart environmental control system. Each day, around 1,000 piglets are born here and immediately fitted with electronic chips to track their development. Key data, such as weight, feeding time, and health status, is sent in real time to a central management system. After spending 3-4 weeks in a specialized care area, piglets are moved to the fattening zone, which consists of hundreds of digitally managed barns. Here, automated feeders provide personalized diets tailored to each pig's growth stage. IoT-enabled collars or ear tags continuously transmit data to the central system. Meanwhile, AI-powered cameras monitor pigs' eating, sleeping, and activity patterns to detect any signs of illness, stress, or abnormal behavior early. The ultimate goal? Healthy pigs, rapid growth, minimal antibiotic use, and optimal meat quality. One standout feature of this closed-loop system is that the concept of waste almost doesn't exist. All organic waste, including manure and wastewater, is collected and processed through an on-site bio-waste treatment system. After going through multiple filtration and decomposition steps, the end product is reused as organic fertilizer for the farm's own corn and soybean fields. Even heat from factory operations is recovered to warm the barns during winter, saving energy and reducing greenhouse gas emissions. This is a prime example of circular agriculture, where every output becomes an input for another process, all in the name of sustainability. Once the pigs reach a weight of 110–120 kilograms, the standard for commercial slaughter, they're transported via fully disinfected, specialized trucks to the on-site processing plant. This slaughterhouse, located right on the farm premises, can handle over 20,000 pigs per day and is among the most advanced in the U.S. It uses CO2 stunning systems to reduce animal suffering, ensuring a more humane process. All cutting, trimming, and packaging stages are handled by robots, minimizing human contact to maintain hygiene and food safety. What's more, the pork is scanned by an AI-based system to assess quality based on color, pH levels, and lean-to-fat ratio. Approved batches are frozen and shipped out the same day to major supermarket chains across the U.S. and exported to demanding markets like Japan, South Korea, Canada, and Europe. It's clear that this farm goes far beyond traditional pig farming. What makes it truly remarkable is how it not only maximizes profits, but also minimizes environmental impact, promotes animal welfare, and ensures food safety for consumers. In a world facing challenges like food security, climate change, and disease outbreaks, this closed-loop farm could serve as a model for the global livestock industry. A place that doesn't just produce pork, but produces trust, transparency, data, and responsibility for society.
Have you ever wondered what Australian racehorse farms do with their culled horses? These farms have a very strict culling policy for horses that are no longer able to compete. While many farms report that they will care for old and sick horses until they die, many farms sell them to slaughterhouses to dispose of these culled pigs. So what kind of horses are culled? Let's find out now. Horse farm in Australia. Harsh culling rules. What will farmers do with the discarded horses? Australia has a long tradition of horse racing, and racehorse farms play an important role in the breeding, training, and preparation of thoroughbreds for competition. Australia is also home to some of the world's best racehorses. However, behind every horse farm, there are bright and dark sides that the owners do not want you to know. because many racehorses are culled each year due to not meeting the demands of racing. It is also considered a harsh culling rule. According to official figures from Racing Australia, less than 1% of retired racehorses are sent to abattoir each year. However, investigations and reports from animal welfare organizations indicate that the actual number may be significantly higher. For example, a 2019 ABC investigation revealed that a Queensland abattoir killed around 300 racehorses over a 22-day period, suggesting a much larger scale of culling than officially reported. So why are racehorses culled? Join us as we explore Australian horse farms to learn more about how they operate and why horses are culled. The foundation of any successful racehorse farm lies in its breeding program. Australian farms carefully select champion stallions and mares with excellent pedigrees. Many farms breed from top breeds, such as Schnitzel and Fastnet Rock. Unlike other industries, Australian thoroughbred breeding adheres to strict natural mating rules to maintain the integrity of the bloodline. Racehorses are fed a strict diet to support muscle growth, endurance, and recovery. The food includes hay, premium grains. The horses are grazed on fresh pastures to relax, forage for food, and improve digestion. The large pastures also help the horses train better for endurance because the natural environment helps stimulate the instincts of these racehorses. After care and training, the horses are often auctioned or sold to other racehorse farms. After being auctioned, racehorses are sent to professional training facilities where they are trained on the track to increase their endurance. Horses usually start racing when they are 2 or 3 years old, participating in young horse races before aiming for major tournaments. However, not all racehorses win throughout their careers, and farms have a system of aftercare. There are many horses that are injured and cannot compete during the competition, and old horses that cannot compete will be eliminated. So, have you ever wondered what happens to these racehorses after they can no longer compete? This is a controversial issue because the cost of caring for horses that are no longer healthy enough to compete is relatively high, making many farms reluctant to invest in this fee. Furthermore, If these horses are cared for until they are old and then destroyed, it will cause food waste. Therefore, many farms will sell horses that do not meet the standards in the racing barn to processing plants to process into meat products to serve the needs of use. Horses that are too injured to compete, or racehorses that are too old. Although many argue that slaughtering them is cruel, it reduces the waste of horse meat and reduces the burden on farms. In horse meat processing plants in Australia, each horse is treated humanely before being slaughtered to reduce suffering. Similar to other livestock, horses are hung on automatic conveyor belts. After slaughter, workers will remove the skin and organs. The horse meat is filtered and cut into different parts for packaging and consumption. In many countries in Europe and many states in the US, eating horse meat is considered cruel. However, in Australia, you can find horse meat sold in many food stores. It is estimated that thousands of racehorses are slaughtered in Australia every year. According to the Racehorse Protection Alliance, there are approximately 30 horse abattoirs operating in Australia, slaughtering horses for pet food and 2 processing horse meat for human consumption. This suggests that the number of racehorses culled each year could be in the thousands. And consuming horse meat also helps reduce meat waste.
Have you ever seen a modern bird farm like this? It is not like a normal farm because the equipment and breeding environment are very modern. The bird species raised on this farm is the Houbara bustard, so what do people raise this bird for? Let's explore it with us now. The Houbara bustard is classified as vulnerable by the International Union for Conservation of Nature due to habitat loss and overhunting. As a result, most Houbara bustard farms are built to breed thousands of birds each year and release them into the wild to restore wild populations. Currently, a private center, the Al Baida Bird Breeding and Research Center, was established in 2020 with the aim of breeding the Houbara bustard in captivity to reintroduce the species into its natural habitat in both Qatar and Central Asia. Currently, Al Baida Farm is raising 300 female Houbara birds and 200 male Houbara birds in separate cages. The farm consists of outdoor and indoor areas. The breeding and incubation areas are also operated in a separate area. The staff is divided into caring for the young birds and the adult birds. Adult Houbara bustards are kept in closed, carefully controlled temperature and light rooms throughout the year. After the breeding season, adult birds are moved into outdoor socialization aviaries. The farm owners point out that houbara bustards are not easy to tame, as they need their own space to resemble their natural habitat. Furthermore, they must be kept separate from other birds and animals, so the farm must allocate a separate building for the birds. Keeping houbara bustards requires extreme care, with the facilities being cleaned and disinfected regularly, and workers being hired to care for them. All food and water provided to the birds must be kept clean and free of contamination. The diet is simple, consisting of local vegetables and grains. Some insects can also be added to provide protein for their growth. In addition to breeding the houbara bustard to conserve the population, the facility will also produce and release 50,000 houbara bustards into their natural habitat, which will benefit the agricultural sector in the area, as the birds are an important link in the food chain. Scientists and local farmers also say that the houbara bustard is a carnivorous bird that hunts worms and rats that are harmful to agricultural crops. The farm's goal is to breed enough birds to maintain a sustainable population and ensure their survival in order to maintain falconry as part of Arabian cultural heritage. So what does Arabian falconry have to do with the houbara bustard? The houbara bustard is the favorite prey of falcons in Arabia. Their declining numbers in the wild have affected both wild and captive falcon populations. Falconry has been an integral part of Arab culture for over 4,000 years. It is even recognized as an intangible cultural heritage in some Arab countries. Falcons are traded in famous markets, such as the International Falcon Exhibition in Abu Dhabi and the Souk Waqif Falcon Market in Qatar. Some rare falcons can cost more than $100,000, while rare and highly skilled hunting falcons can fetch even higher prices. Houbara bustard owners say Qatari falconers are particularly fond of the bird and consider it a valuable prey during the falconry season. Uncontrolled hunting with falcons or guns in the past caused the houbara bustard population to decline. Now, as the houbara population has gradually recovered, falconry activities have developed. Hunting is often done in the desert. We can see the falcon chasing its prey, the houbara bustard. It often exhausts its prey while flying, and finally the prey is exhausted under the claws of the fierce falcon. For this activity, houbara bustard farms can make a profit from falconry, which will go towards the cost of continuing to operate the houbara bustard farm to ensure that their population does not decline.
Looking at these lush green fields, no one would think that this was once an aquatic plant that was considered an invasive species in ponds and lakes. In the past, this plant was often discarded by farmers, abandoned to grow crops. However, Many Chinese farmers have now become rich from them. So, what kind of plants are these? How do they bring profits? Please join us to explore. Surely many of you confuse this seed with lotus seed, but it is actually called gorgon seed, which is the seed of the water lily plant. This plant grows strongly in Asia, and it brings great profits to Chinese farmers. In provinces such as Jiangsu, Hubei, and Anhui, gorgon seed cultivation has become a profitable industry. Farmers plant hundreds of hectares in ponds, lakes, and shallow water areas. The plant is grown all year round, and the seeds are harvested in the fall. Gorgon seed cultivation is a labor-intensive process, with planting, tending, and harvesting all done by hand. Farmers often have to spend the entire day in muddy waters to harvest the gorgon seeds, which is relatively time-consuming and labor-intensive. You can see, in the green fields, the farmers, mostly local women, are harvesting the gorgons. They wear waterproof protective clothing during the harvesting process. Each gorgon is picked by hand and stored in boats or pots floating on the water. When the pots are full, some people will pull the pots to the shore and store them in larger containers to be transported to the processing area. Almost every gorgon seed growing area in China has processing facilities to produce the highest quality products to serve domestic consumption and export needs. At the processing facility, the gorgon seeds are separated from the fruit and cleaned, then dried and packaged. This is the most common method for gorgon seeds to be consumed over a long period of time. It can also be packaged directly as fresh seeds depending on market demand. The production of gorgon seeds is a labor-intensive industry, requiring many workers for harvesting, shelling, and processing. It can provide significant employment opportunities and labor income for the elderly and women in rural areas. In many areas, farmers also combine vegetable cultivation with fish or rice farming, optimizing land use and improving income by producing a variety of crops, providing a stable source of income for local farmers. In recent years, gorgon seed cultivation has become a major source of income for many farmers in rural China. As global demand for nutritious foods increases, gorgon seeds have gained popularity as a natural, nutrient-rich food product, thus boosting their market value. In addition to raw nuts, China has developed various processed gorgon nut products, including snacks, powders, and extracts, which have diversified its products and increased its income from this nut. Every year, China produces thousands of tons of gorgon nuts and distributes them throughout the domestic market, while also earning a large profit from exports. Gorgon seeds are increasingly exported in large quantities to Southeast Asian countries, the United States, and Europe, where they are marketed as a healthy snack and ingredient in a variety of dishes. According to many studies, gorgon seeds are a suitable ingredient for a plant-based diet and are gluten-free, making them popular in Western markets, partly due to the strong trend of veganism in this region. The export of gorgon seeds also contributes significantly to China's economy, not only increasing farmers' income, but also contributing to the country's overall economy. According to research, what nutrients do gorgon seeds contain that make the Chinese so fond of them? Gorgon seeds are prized for their high protein, carbohydrate, and mineral content. They are rich in amino acids, calcium, phosphorus, and iron, making them a highly nutritious food source. In traditional medicine, gorgon seeds are used for their benefits in supporting kidney function, digestive health, and providing energy. They are believed to have properties that help the body manage stress and improve recovery ability. Therefore, the Chinese often use gorgon seeds in food processing for people with weak bodies or to nourish the elderly, children, and pregnant women.